Do you think it's possible to heal a gluten intolerance?
People don't have a gluten intolerance, they have a glyphosate intolerance. But I have people who are celiac disease, supposedly in America. They go to Europe and they can eat the wheat. It's very common. And it's because here our wheat is so polluted, our grounds are so polluted. You have to be 100% organic. First of all, glyphosate is the issue here, and it's way worse than just gluten intolerances. So almost 9 times out of 10, if you take the glyphosate completely out of the diet for 90 days, you can eat gluten again without any problem. But what happens is glyphosate is in so many different things right now. It's in your cereals, it's in your Starbucks coffees, it's in your wines, it's everywhere. And when you can't, this is not a negotiable. You can't be partially organic
Yeah.
because when you take glyphosate, even one drop of glyphosate, all of your gut biome is 50% compromised for 11 days minimum. Like you can't even, there's no way around it.
That's so annoying because I don't eat gluten because my body reacts to it, my skin breaks out, my stomach is messed up. And I thought, well, if I stop and then kind of slowly introduce myself to it, I might be better.
It's
But
glyphosate.
now,
It's not gluten, I can tell you.
but I thought that with the gluten intolerance, basically it's like the stomach hairs is like
It's
flattened.
glyphosate. It's just it's this whole thing about gluten is a sham and a lie. And worse yet is that we eat all this gluten-free stuff with like brown rice flours and all this, and we start to develop diabetes, sugar intolerances, because we eat really high glycemic load and index things to replace it. Like this is not okay. This is not a little thing. The gluten-free movement is messing people up. Anytime, like if you're going to eat wheat, like we don't have intolerances. We didn't have intolerances 50 years ago. We didn't have nut allergies 50 years. There was no EpiPens in schools. This is all chemical poisoning, and we've just accepted it. And what we do is we argue over diet styles, but we don't argue over chemicals. The reason why we don't argue over chemicals is because we're arguing over what style we're going to eat, which one works better. But I've been doing this long enough, man. They don't like when people have increasing food intolerances as they get older. And I did too. And I took them all away. I could eat everything, dairy, gluten, everything I could eat. And then when I went back to it and I ate it all, then I said, guess what? I don't want it anymore. And I chose to go away from it rather than I want to eat it. I can't eat it. I'm limiting and restricting myself, which creates all of this anxiety around it.
It's so annoying because I just recently became intolerant to soy. Like now, if I have soy, I feel like my throat is closing, like tight.
Get the chemicals out. And again, it's not just the chemicals in your food. Chemicals in our clothes. You know one of the worst things it is? It's our endocrine disruptors. It's our soap. We use Tide.
Yeah.
That's worse. It's tampons that got glyphosate in them. It's makeup. It's like it's all over. And just bit by bit start taking it out. And I promise you, with the minerals, with the fascial maneuvers, with the resets, taking in and using download our clean your environment guide. It gives you suggestions on how to get it all out, and eventually it'll all come back. I went from basically not eating bread, not eating cheese, not eating all kinds of stuff, and then all this and I got worse and worse over the years. And then I could eat everything again. And then I chose. I said I no longer want to eat that, but it's not because I can't.
So like with rice, for example, I eat organic rice. Does it still have glyphosate in it?
No. Well, rice is pretty good, and rice is grown without pesticides usually. Even non-organic rice usually is pretty good, depending on where it's grown. But again, it doesn't matter because if you got it in your food, if you got it in your coffee, if you got it in other things, it's death by 1,000 cuts. There is no options. And people go, organic food is so expensive. It's only expensive for 30 to 60 days because after 60 days, you will eat 50% less food for the same satiation because the chemicals are blocking your ability to absorb.
if I was to, I'm going to Paris in June. If I was to eat wheat there or croissant or something, it like is that possible or should
Yeah,
I
I
like?
mean, I'm willing to bet you can. Listen, there's a couple things. Go to BioOptimizer, okay? Do their 28-day reset. Take the entire GI reset.
Mhm.
They also have a thing called Gluten Guard.
I need that.
And what it does, if you do eat gluten and it's intolerant, you take it immediately remediates it. You can go to our website, use our code, Human Garage, you get a discount.
Mhm.
They have a thing called Gluten Guard. It works like crazy.
Oh, I need that because I model, and if I accidentally have any gluten, my face will break out.
Yeah.
So it's travel, people don't know sometimes when you tell them gluten free, they don't know that. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, and again, it's the chemicals. Honestly, just get there, clean your environment, guy, because if you're having that at this age right now, in 10 years, it's going to be a shitstorm. So just start cleaning it up right now, get it out of the way.